Okay, guys, as promised, I'm going to do a quick video on how to open a Vanguard investment account for anyone who wants to invest for the long term. So, just a little bit of background, obviously, when we're trying to manage our finances, really you want to be looking at having a emergency fund in a high interest savings account in the first instance. So you probably say about 3 or 4 months worth, maybe up to 6 months worth of expenses saved in a high interest savings account. Now, we all know that there aren't very many high interest savings accounts, but there's a few of them. I think there's a JP Morgan one called Marcus, I believe, and there's one that I use called Chip. It was 1.25% when I first opened it, but now I believe it's down to about 0.7%. So not that high, but obviously probably the highest you're going to get for something that you need easy access to. Actually, sorry, not sorry. When I say the Marcus one, I think it's Goldman Sachs, not JP Morgan. But sorry, yeah, sorry, it is Goldman Sachs. I just have to double check on my phone. So yeah, you can either use the Marcus account by Goldman Sachs for an emergency fund, or use the one that I mentioned, Chip, the Chip app on your phone, and open up one there. That's what I use right now, just to um, save emergency funds in there, because what you don't want to do is open up a Vanguard account for investment and then having to dip into it because you haven't got any access. So because you haven't got any funds that you can access immediately. So I always suggest have a savings account, not one of the standard retail bank ones, because they give you 0.05 or whatever it is. Look, for the sake of 0.5 or 6% more, obviously it's not loads more, but it's still better off saving into one as close as 1% as possible, because even though it's the easy access one, you might as well try and get as much interest as possible. So as I was saying, try and use either um, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or use the Chip app one, which you can download from the App Store. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to open up a Vanguard account, a Vanguard ISA account, and just going to take you through the parts of the platform and the funds that I think that are good to select, the ones that I've used before. The beauty of using investment accounts such as Vanguard or Fidelity, obviously I'm just showing you Vanguard today, is because you can save on average around 10% a year. Now that blows banks out of the water. So definitely for long-term savings, you don't want to be using any retail bank. You want to be looking at using platforms like Vanguard. So I'm just going to share it now and just show you what I mean. Sorry, 1 second. Let me make sure that got this right. There we go. Sharing Vanguard now. Okay, so there's the platform here. It's pretty intuitive, right? You've got invest in education here, learn about investing. So how to get started with us, investing with us, open account. You have 4 to choose from: a stocks, a shares ISA, personal pension, a junior ISA, and a general account. What I'm going to do today is do a stocks and shares ISA, because obviously you get tax benefits from that, right? Then to choose a fund, decide how to invest, and that's obviously how much you want to invest. Now, learn more about choosing funds. Find a fund that is right for you. Buy a ready-made portfolio. So life strategy is one of the different types of funds that I'm going to look at. Life strategy is one that I use because it's pretty simple, right? I'm still relatively young, so I'm going to go for 100%. Well, what I use, sorry, is 100% life strategy fund. Now, as you can see here, I'm just going to take you through the life strategy funds. I'm going to go through the other funds, which I think are useful. I can't go through every fund because that's going to take all night, right? But just for a simple overview for those that want to get started investing, I'm just going to quickly take you through the different types of life strategy funds. And as you can hear from the name, these are like retirement style funds, right? Like pension style funds. Obviously, if you're working still contributing to a pension, obviously, and match what your employer is giving you. But obviously, what I would do as well is I would check the products that the pension is investing, because what I've found in the past is the employer that I was using, the funds that were using were actually rubbish funds. The returns were rubbish. So definitely check if you are using your company's pension, as well as always manage your own. But if you're using your company's pension as well, always check what funds they're investing in, just to make sure you're getting the best deal. So let's start with the 20% one. I wouldn't recommend this one. This one is going to be quite bond heavy, yeah? So as you can see, it's 20% equity fund. Let's look at the distribution. Actually, portfolio data first. So you can see there's a few stocks in there, but they're mainly bonds in here. So this is quite a low risk one, as you can see, yeah? You can see all the different types of bond funds that are in there. And distributions, doesn't show you on here the distributions. This will show you sort of the returns. Let's just go back, sorry, 1 second. Okay, let's just go to the next one actually. I just want to double check what distributions, the yields, accumulation share class, reinvest dividends. Okay, so obviously, sorry, the distribution element isn't relevant to this because it's an accumulation one, which obviously, as the word suggests, just accumulates and builds and builds and builds. Obviously, distribution means that it starts to give you a return, yeah? But these are just accumulation. Sorry, let me just go back to the 40% one. So the 40% one, this is a good one here. Index fund, bonds, gilts, bonds. They're all bonds, which obviously, as most of you know, bonds are obviously loans, right? They're loans, government loans that you invest in and get a return from them. I recommend going for the 100%, especially if you're young, especially for people like my sister who are not even 20 yet. Definitely go for the 100% fund, which even I do, even though I'm almost 40 now. I still reckon the 100% fund is decent. This is the 60% one, as you can see, a little bit less bond heavy now, as you can see, yeah? It's got the index fund here, hedge fund, index fund, bonds, gilts, bonds, index fund, index. So it's a little bit less bonds. As you increase, as we go, so let's go back. As we go for, it basically tells you exactly what it does on the tin, right? It's got, the fact is 80% equity, which means 80% stocks and 20% bonds. Now, of me, the one that I invest in, this is 100% shares one, 0% bonds. As you can see, the risk level is 5 on this, 5 out of 7, which is, I guess quite a high risk. But as I said, if you're young, there's no harm in doing that. As you can see, the past performance here is quite high as well. The NAV is the net asset value. Yeah. I won't go too much into technical details just to keep it simple. But as I said, for a simple way to invest, I would go straight for the life strategy fund and go for the 100% one. Yeah. Right. Also, let's have a look at choosing funds again. Okay. So let's go to the index funds now and just have a look. Obviously, the beauty of the life strategy fund, guys, is imagine a box of Quality Street where you've got a variety of different chocolates in there, like Dairy Milk and Milky Way and Mars bars, whatever. So this is the beauty of this. This is basically a one fund that you invest in, 100% fund, which has got loads of different index funds, which are basically boxes of Quality Street with different stocks, different companies inside those different funds. Yeah. So as you can see here, what is an index fund? When Jack Bogle founded Vanguard, I actually recommend you guys buying Intelligent Investor, which is the book from Jack Bogle as well, which talks about the whole ways of index funds. So just a quick read here. Rather than relying on analysts and fund managers to pick individual shares of bonds they think they're going to do well, index funds track the overall performance of an entire market, like the Ftse 100 or S&P 500, or as Jack put it, don't look for the needle in the haystack, just buy the haystack. I think that says it all, really. His idea was slow to catch on at first, but over time, people have come to see how the power of the markets can deliver healthy long-term returns, and because they typically have lower fees, you keep more of the returns, which can really add up in the long run. That's why today people worldwide have invested 4 trillion in our index funds. Now, I'm not saying don't use a fund manager, you can do, but what is basically being said here is that very rarely do fund managers who pick different products beat them up, beat the index. So you might as well just invest in the index basically. So how does an index fund work? An index fund will often buy shares in every company listed on the index it's tracking. So for example, a FTSE 100 index fund might buy shares in every company in the FTSE 100 or 100 limb. So the beauty of this, guys, you're going to have investment. Obviously, as you know, it's going to start up at a certain percentage and then go down. So you're going to have less and less and less of a company. But for example, if you invested in the FTSE 100, you're going to have some investment in all of those companies, which I think is a beautiful concept. So the aim of the index fund is to track the performance of a given index. It will do this if the index is going up or if it's going down. So you might get back less than you invested. So obviously there is risk involved in this, guys, but it's not like high risk. You know what I mean? These are quite common now. So this shouldn't be something that people are scared of. And like I said, it's more riskier putting your money in a bank account, which is actually losing you money, being accumulated by inflation, than something like this where their performance is 80, 90%, well, 90% sure you're going to get a good return. Index funds will track the market, they won't beat it. If you're prepared to take on more risk and higher fees to beat the market, an active fund might be more appropriate for you. Index funds invest in a variety of markets which carry specific risks. Please see the key investor information document for full details. So I'll just show you the active funds. So here we go. These active funds are the ones that potentially beat the market, but as I was saying, they're going to be a lot more expensive. So if we look now, we're just loading them up. Okay, there's not many. Well, there's not many as the index ones, but as you can see, the ongoing charges. I mean, to be fair, they're still not that high, really. To be fair, on the active ones, um, yeah, they're still not that high considering. But oh, actually, sorry, this is a mixture of both, guys. Sorry, this is a mixture of index and active. Yeah. So you'll see, sorry, the index ones are quite low, 0.12%. If we find an active one, you'll find that the percentage is going to be higher. Well, are you active funds? Active funds. I just want to see the difference here. Where's active, active, active? Right. I'm just trying to look for the difference with the active funds. Sorry, let me go back. I need to find. I think what they've done here is done a mixture of. Actually, let me refine. Let's go to refine. Okay, let's just look for active. Let's just look for active, guys. So here we go. Just by me doing that. So as you can see, the active fund, the percentage is a lot higher. Sorry, that's what I want to show you. So you can see the percentage is a little bit higher. The ongoing charge is 0.48%. I mean, really, you don't want to go higher than 0.5%, really, but I like to keep it even lower. And that's why I just go for the index funds. So just touching on some index funds, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just focus on the index ones, and then I'm going to show how to actually open up the ISA account and obviously choose an allocation. Basically, show you how to set the direct debit for this to obviously come out on a monthly basis. So here are the index funds. And like I was saying before, guys, the life strategy funds will include all of these different types of funds within one life strategy fund. Yeah. So I want to go to the ETF. There's a good ETF here. And just to confirm as well what ETF is, ETF is an index fund, but it's an exchange traded fund. So it's traded on a stock exchange just like a normal stock would be. With an index fund, it's just got one price. But with the ETF, the price fluctuates up and down like a normal stock would, yeah? That's the difference. Um, Here we go. Let's not do mutual funds. Let's do ETFs. And I'm just going to show you what an ETF is in terms of, see, these are very low. Basically, in the 100% life strategy, you will see ETFs as well. And like I said, the only difference is they're exchange traded. So they're an index fund, but they're traded on the exchange, so the price fluctuates. Whereas with the standard index fund, um, you can only sort of like buy at one price, yeah. Whereas these ones fluctuate in price. So I want to find the S&P 5. This is the one that a lot of people love to invest in. This is the S&P 500, which is obviously is the US index for all of the top companies. As you can see here, there's 509 stocks. So some people just buy this, guys. Some people just buy the S&P 500 UCITS ETF and they're happy with that. Me personally, I think it's, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, you could do the live strategy as well as this, but um, to be honest, I think this UCITS ETF is in the live strategy one anyway, but we'll double check that in a second before I show you how to open one up. So let's have a look if we can look at the portfolio data. As you can see here, guys, very interesting. This ETF, exchange traded fund, as you can see, look, these are the percentages for all the top companies in America. You got Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, which is um, Warren Buffett's company. As you can see, JP Morgan, Johnson& Johnson, Visa, Pfizer. And as you go through, guys, as you go through, as you can see the percentage is lessening as you go down the companies. Yeah. So basically, this fund will allow you to have a piece of all of these companies. And what it is good, guys, for, it's good for risk because this is a variety of different sectors. So if one sector is affected, it's not going to really you're not going to feel the effect as much as if you were to invest in one stock and then that sector feel a hit. So this is better for diversification. And as you can see, as you go through, as we get to the end, you're going to see 0.01, I'd imagine. Yeah, 0.01 or 0.00005 as you get to the lesser ones, yeah? So yeah, I mean that's another good one. S&P 500. There's another high yield one which I think is good. So I definitely would either choose one of these, the S&P 500 or the live strategy. But I definitely think, if you're um, relatively young, just go for the live strategy, which I'm going to show you how to open up in a minute. And another good one, guys, is this Ftse All World High Dividend Yield. And as it says, it's a high dividend one, yeah? So if we look at distributions, you can see here how much you get out of these. So this is different from the accumulation one where it accumulates. This one distributes, and it's showing you here the distribution and the dividends. Obviously, to make a lot of money off dividends, you have to invest quite a lot of money. But the beauty is that you still can um, get paid out from them. I think the beauty is, though, and the best way to do that would be to reinvest any dividend you make back into whatever you invested in. Let's have a look at the distributions. Sorry, not distributions. Portfolio data. Sorry, portfolio data. We want to see what funds are in here. Yeah. So it's got the region exposure. Obviously, it's mainly America, and then Europe, Pacific, emerging markets, Middle East. Yeah. So going down, this is the high yield one. Let's have a look. Okay. So as you can see here, there's a mixture of companies in this one. You've got Nestle, you've got the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, and even more pages than the last one. ExxonMobil. So yeah, another variety of different companies here. I won't take you through all of them. What I'll quickly do now is I'll quickly go back to the live strategy funds, and then I'm going to show you what's in these funds, and then I'm going to quickly show you how to actually open up an account so you can get cracking straight away. Yeah, this has to be the way that you live your life going forward, guys. You have to invest for the future. Um, I think the beauty of the way the world is these days, you're getting a lot more information like this from YouTube, and people obviously trying to make sure the youth of this world are educated when it comes to money. It's a lot more money education and investment style literature and media out there now to help people um, to look to the future. So anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on now. But as you can see here, this live strategy fund, which I'm going to show you how to open now, has got the S&P 500 in there. It hasn't got the high yield one in there, but it has got the S&P 500, which has got those, I think, 500 companies in there, as well as the Ftse 250. It's got the Japan one for a bit of diversification. It's got the Ftse 100. So it's got a mixture of American, UK, emerging markets, as well as Asian markets. Yeah. I'm not too sure if there's a margin on here. Sorry, there is a margin there. There is a margin there. Sorry. Okay, cool. Now, how to open an account? This is very simple, guys. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you obviously, I've already got one account, but I'm just going to show you from scratch because obviously, if I just did it from my account, you wouldn't see the whole journey. Yeah. So literally, very simple, very intuitive. Um, I went to open an account, as you can see here. Start my application. Okay, now what you're going to go to, you're not going to do personal. I'm not going to take you through personal pension stuff today, guys, but obviously, um, maybe that'll be for another video. But I'm just going to go for the stocks and shares one today, or general account if you've got another stocks and shares account elsewhere and you just want to open up a general one. So open an account, very simple. So there you go. Or I'm not going to read the small print, but obviously there's the ISA declaration. Let's get the words proper. And key features, privacy policy, etc. So you're going to just click here and go proceed. Now you're going to go add more investments. You've got a 20K remaining ISA allowance, and this runs from April to April. Yeah. So add more investments. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to look for the life strategy. Okay. And this is the one, life strategy 100, and you're going to do a single payment of whatever you want, £100, and then say 100. Oh, there we go. Sorry, the single payment is minimum 500. My bad. So maybe you don't want to do a single payment. You just want to do a regular payment of £100 a month. Okay. And obviously you can select other funds, but this one is basically just showing you how to do the life strategy. Or like I said, the other funds are all there as well. The equity funds are all here. I just want to quickly show you the one that I was looking at before. The S&P 500 usage one, which is another good one. That one's there. Okay, right. So then going back to the one that I chose, the life strategy 100% equity fund accumulation. Do £100 a month if that's what you want to do. Ideally, guys, you want to be trying to invest 10% of your income per month. Yeah. So obviously, £100 is if you earn £1,000 a month, put £100 away into this fund. But like I said, guys, ideally you want to. I mean, look, if you can afford to put money in an emergency fund as well as an index fund at the same time, then why not? Because it's good. It's good to get started as soon as possible. Then you fill in your details, legal name, middle name, etc., national insurance number, address, when you were born, and then next. This is a test, so I'm just literally just gonna put some test details in here. Right. I don't really want to show my address, but I'm gonna have to hide that bit. But yeah, you just put your personal details in, and then you're gonna go to complete order. Yeah. Yeah, it's as simple as that, guys. Obviously, like I said, I don't want to be putting in my national insurance number in here because it's going to be a public video. But you literally just follow the steps along and complete your order, um, and then you'll be good to go. It's as simple as that. It really is that simple. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's it in a nutshell. How you would open up a Vanguard account. Any questions? Give me a shout, guys. But yeah, that's it. That's it. So very quick, very simple, very easy. Um, if you do need any assistance or any help, then give me a shout. But that's it. Have a good evening. Thank you, guys. Cheers.